What if I told you that one of the strangest, wildest, and most iconic cars in pop culture wasn't from Batman or James Bond, but from a 1960s TV band? The Monkees' 1966 Monkeemobile wasn't just a car. It was a rolling cartoon of rock and roll chaos. Here are 10 weird facts you won't believe. 1. It started as a regular Pontiac GTO convertible. Believe it or not, the famous Monkeemobile began life as a plain 1966 Pontiac GTO, a popular American muscle car of its time. The producers of the Monkees TV show wanted something wild to represent the band's fun, rebellious image. So they hired Dean Jeffries, one of Hollywood's top custom car designers. To turn this standard GTO into something unforgettable, Jeffries cut it, stretched it, reshaped it, and basically created an entirely new vehicle. By the time he finished, it barely resembled the original car. The Monkeemobile looked like a hot rod straight out of a comic book, and it instantly became a TV icon. 2. The engine was a real monster, not a movie prop. Unlike most Hollywood cars that just look fast, the Monkeemobile had serious muscle under the hood. Jeffries installed a supercharged 389 cubic inch V8 engine, pushing out around 425 horsepower, an insane number for a 1960s show car. The car could really move. During tests, it reportedly reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour, and the torque was so strong that it could lift the front wheels off the ground. It wasn't just a flashy prop, it was a dangerous beast. On set, stunt drivers were actually warned not to go too fast because the massive engine and long frame made the car tough to control. 3. It was literally too long to park anywhere. One of the first things fans noticed was the Monkeemobile's ridiculous length. Dean Jeffries stretched the chassis by 18 inches, giving it that elongated, exaggerated look. It made the car look dramatic on camera, but totally impractical in real life. The extra length caused serious handling problems, and parking it on city streets was nearly impossible. The producers later joked that the car spent more time on flatbeds and trailers than actually being driven. Still, that exaggerated shape became one of its most recognizable features and made it look larger than life, just like the band itself. 4. The Monkeemobile had a working parachute in the back. Here's one of the weirdest details of all. The Monkeemobile came with a real working parachute system in the rear. Dean Jeffries, known for his over-the-top creativity, installed it just because he thought it looked cool. Inspired by drag racing cars, the parachute was meant to help slow the vehicle at high speeds, though of course it was never actually used on set. It didn't make much sense for a TV band's ride to have a drag chute, but this was the 1960s, when style and shock value mattered more than logic. And in that department, the Monkeemobile delivered. 5. It could seat 7 people. Barely. For the TV show, all 4 monkeys needed to fit inside, plus the occasional extra cast member or guest. To make that happen, Jeffries modified the car to hold up to 7 passengers. He added a second row of seats and raised the rear section to create more space. But that made the car incredibly awkward to drive. Because of its uneven weight distribution, the Monkeemobile tilted during turns, and the rear passengers felt every bump like a carnival ride. But for the show's chaotic, slapstick energy, the cramped interior only added to the fun. It wasn't comfortable, but it sure looked wild on camera 6. Pontiac almost rejected it completely. When Pontiac executives first saw what Dean Jeffries had done to their beloved GTO, they were horrified. They provided 2 brand new cars for the Monkees show, expecting some light customization, maybe a new paint job, a few decals. Instead, they got a stretched, chopped, bubble windshielded hot rod that looked nothing like the car they'd built. Pontiac almost pulled their sponsorship, claiming the car no longer represented their brand. But once the TV show aired, kids everywhere went crazy for the Monkeemobile. The car's popularity skyrocketed, and Pontiac quickly changed its tune. What they thought was a mistake turned into one of their biggest pop culture wins. 7. 2 Monkeemobiles were built, and their fates were wildly different. Dean Jeffries built 2 Monkeemobiles, one for on-screen use and another for promotional tours. After the Monkees TV show ended, both cars disappeared for years. The original TV car was left in storage and later sold at auction, while the second car ended up in Australia, where it stayed hidden for decades. Collectors eventually tracked both down. The TV-used Monkeemobile was restored and is now displayed at car shows across the US. The Australian car was rediscovered in the early 2000s and shipped back to America, still in surprisingly good condition. Two identical cars, two wild adventures, almost like the monkeys themselves. 8. The Monkeemobile became a real-life toy craze. In the 1960s, the monkeys weren't just a TV show. They were a global phenomenon. Kids wanted everything monkeys related, from lunchboxes to posters, but nothing sold faster than Monkeemobile toy cars. Model car company MPC released a detailed plastic kit of the Monkeemobile, and it became one of their best-selling models of all time. Thousands of kids built miniature versions of the car in their living rooms. Later, Hot Wheels and other brands re-released die-cast editions, turning the Monkeemobile into a collectible legend that continues to sell even today. The Monkeemobile wasn't just a TV prop, it became a pop culture product line. 9. The car was designed in just 4 weeks. One of the craziest behind-the-scenes facts? Dean Jeffries had less than a month to design and build the first Monkeemobile. The studio gave him the contract only weeks before filming began, and Jeffries worked almost non-stop to meet the deadline. Using custom fiberglass panels, a hand-built nose, and experimental paintwork, he somehow completed it on time. He even had to invent parts on the fly, using leftover components from his other projects. Despite the insane schedule, the car became one of the most recognizable vehicles in television history, a testament to Jeffries' genius under pressure. 10. It's still one of the most valuable TV cars ever made. Today, the Monkeemobile remains a holy grail for collectors. Its combination of TV fame, 1960s design, and Dean Jeffries' craftsmanship makes it incredibly rare. When one of the original cars went to auction in 2008, it sold for nearly $400,000, and its value has continued to climb. Car enthusiasts and pop culture historians consider it one of the top 5 most iconic TV vehicles of all time, alongside the Batmobile, the A-Team van, and Kit from Knight Rider. Over half a century later, the Monkeemobile still turns heads wherever it appears, proving that weird, creative design never goes out of style. Conclusion. The Monkeemobile wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of the 1960s, bold, eccentric, and full of energy. It combined the muscle of Detroit engineering with the madness of Hollywood imagination. From its stretch frame and roaring engine to its bizarre parachute and cramped seats, everything about the Monkeemobile screamed fun and rebellion. It broke the rules of automotive design, shocked Pontiac executives, and captured the hearts of millions of fans. And even though the Monkees were a made-for-TV band, their ride became just as legendary as their music. Today, the Monkeemobile stands as a reminder of when television, rock and roll, and hot rods collided in one unforgettable moment of pop culture history, because in a world full of ordinary cars, the Monkeemobile will always be extraordinary. Like, share, and subscribe.